gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna start laying down on the floor, on the mat, start stretching out our hamstrings and hips, things like that. And we'll see how this goes today. Rolled my ankle on loose gravel hiking yesterday, so it should be fun. And it wasn't the good ankle, it was the bad ankle. So we'll see how this goes. So go ahead and lay down on your mat. And we're gonna start by a lying hamstring stretch here. So hands out to the side, flex your toes back towards you. Relax your head on the ground, pull your belly button in, bring that leg all the way up, 10 times. Tap that heel back to the ground. Right, and then go on to the other side. And then we're gonna go bring those heels in towards the butt. Keep your toes facing straight ahead, no wider than your hips. Drive your hips up into a hip bridge, and then slowly lower down, 10 times. And then straighten those legs back out, hands out to the side. We're gonna do iron crosses, so right foot goes to the left hand, coming all the way up, and then going to the other side. 10 times here. And then we're gonna flip over onto our stomach, or into our tabletop position, sorry. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, all right? Bird dog starting out. Extend that right arm all the way out, thumb up. Extend the left leg back, kicking back with the heel, pointing the toe towards the ground, making sure our hips are level with the ground. Bring your elbow and knee together. Press them together, create some tension, create some heat, and extend all the way out. 5 times here. Once you're done with your 5 reps, we're gonna go ahead and go to the other side, extend the left arm out, thumb is facing up, extend the right leg back, bring the elbow and knee together. Hold for about 5 seconds here. Extend all the way out, and then 5 reps. Now we're gonna go into our cat-cows, all right? So we're gonna do 5 at your breath. So we're gonna take a nice deep breath in, pushing into the floor. Head comes up, hips goes back. And then our exhale, tuck those hips underneath, getting the spine as high as you can. And back to our cow. Back to cat. Back to cow. Cat. And cow. Cat. And cow. One more time. Back to cat. All right, come to a neutral position. We're gonna go and lay down on the ground. We're gonna start warming our shoulders up. So we're gonna go through our I, Y, T, W, A's. All right, so we're gonna pump 5 times first. Hold for 5 seconds the first round through. And then we're gonna swim through those 5 times, all right? So thumbs are together, hands overhead, pulling the shoulders down, back and down, away from your ears. And then we're coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. Out into a Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. Out into a T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. Pinching those shoulder blades together, pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. W. Elbows or forearms to the ground, squeezing those scaps together. And hold at the top. Flip the hands, backs of the hands to the ground, pulling the shoulders down with those fingertips, reaching down lower, backs of the hands to the ground, and pump 5 times. And hold. Now swim that all the way up into an I. Keep your hands off the ground. Y, T, W, and A. Swim it up. I, Y, T, W, A. All the way up. I, Y, T, W, A. 2 more. Swim it all the way up. I, Y, T, W, A. Last one, all the way up. I, Y, T, W, A. All right, we're gonna swim those arms all the way back to the top. We're gonna do 10 alternating Superman, or 20 alternating Supermans, 10 on each side. So right arm, left leg, coming off the ground, then left arm, right leg, 20 times. And now 10 regular Supermans, where both hands, both feet come up. All right, place those hands on the ground. Oh, sorry. Place the hands on the ground. Press up into plank. Going back into downward dog here, if I can. Alternate those heels to the ground. Pressing the chest towards the toes. Come way up on those toes, round the back, and we're gonna wave all the way up into plank. Slowly lower ourselves down, pressing up into an up dog or cobra. Flip your toes again, wave all the way back into a downward dog. Drive the heels to the ground. Float your right heel up. Driving your left heel to the ground if you can. Set that foot down. Float the left heel up. Drive the right heel to the ground if you can. Set that foot down. Float the right heel up. Swing it through in between your hands into that runner's lunge. Got to make sure that we're taking care of our hips here. Couple deep breaths. Go ahead and straighten your front leg out, lift your toe, back into that lunge, rolling forward. Straighten your front leg, lift the toe, back into our lunge. Straighten the front leg, lift the toe, back into our lunge. 2 more times, straighten that front leg, lift the toe, back into the lunge. Last one, straighten the front leg, lift the toe, Back into our lunge, plant those hands, slide that foot back into plank. Right, slowly lower yourself down into the ground, pressing up to an up dog, flip the toes, press back into a downward dog. Driving those heels to the ground, float that left heel up, drive the right heel down, swing that left leg through between your hands, and just hang out right here. On your exhale, let your hips sink down towards the ground. Keep that back leg nice and strong and straight. Couple more deep breaths here. Now straighten that front leg, lift the toe, back into your lunge. Straighten the front leg, lift the toe, back into the lunge. Straighten, lift, lunge. Two more. Straighten, lift, lunge. Last one. Straighten, lift. Back into our lunge, plant the hands, step back into plank, and then back to downward dog. Drive those heels to the ground. Shift side to side if you need to. Pedal it out if you need to. All right, now we're gonna walk our feet all the way up just to where our palms are. So we're in a squat stance here, grabbing the front of the shoes. Keep the legs straight, let the head and shoulders hang. And then we're gonna drop our butt down into a squat and lift our chest up as much as we can. Take your legs, we're gonna press in against your arms and then relax. Press in and relax. Press in and relax. Press in and relax. One more time, press in and relax. Now we're going to straighten our legs out as we drop our head and our shoulders. And then back down into that gorilla squat. We're gonna do 10 of those, nice and slow. Letting that stretch take place through the spine, the neck, the low back, hamstrings, calves. Got one more here. Straighten those legs one last time. Roll up out of that. All right, then we're gonna widen our legs out. Then we're gonna go into a lateral lunge here or a Cossack squat. So getting lower each time, we're gonna do 10 reps, 5 on each leg. We're gonna lower down to the left and then come back up, squeeze your butt at the top and then lower down to the right. And each time trying to get a little bit lower if you can. And then bring those feet together. So big circles, fingertips down, going backwards 10 times, really big here. And then reverse it up. Alternate back and forth 10 times. Both hands back and front. And then side to side. We're going to start off with Deadbug Holds and Deadbug heel taps. All right, so let me demonstrate those real quick. So we're going to start off with our fingertips here, shoulders are pulled back. We're going to bring our feet up, flex our toes back. Our knees are over our hips. We're going to crunch up and hold right here for 30 seconds. And at the 30-second mark, I'll say go, and then you're slowly going to tap the heel to the ground without changing the angle of the knee. All right, so we don't want to straighten our leg out. We don't want to just do this thing right here. We want to keep that angle of the knee, keep reaching up, and then slowly lower that heel to the ground. Wait until the foot comes back up, and then go to the other side, okay? So that's the first one. And then we'll rest 30 seconds. The next one, we're gonna have Scap PushUps on our elbows. So we're going to be basically in a plank position on our elbows here. We'll be here, and we're just gonna roll through the scap, pulling the scap together, and then pressing them apart. Together, pressing them apart for 30 seconds. And then we're gonna flip over on our back. We're gonna do what's considered a reverse push-up or a Scap push-up. You're gonna have your elbows either to your side or slightly out. You can have your feet flat on the ground if you want. And you're gonna drive your elbows into the floor, getting your head and shoulders off the ground, and then back down. So what we're working on here is learning how to retract our scap so that we can get some distance and build some strength through that scapular area. All right, so pulling strength. We'll go 30 seconds of Scap push-ups, 30 seconds of reverse push-up, 30-second rest, and we'll go through that whole thing 3 times. All right, and then I'll go over the conditioning piece. All right, so let's go ahead and make it on your back. Get ready for Deadbug Holds. So shoulders are on the ground, fingertips are out, head is neutral, feet are up, and go. Crunch it up, reaching up with those fingertips, reaching up with that chest, pulling the belly button into the ground, keeping those shoulders pulled back. Don't look here. Look up towards the sky or ceiling. All right, and taps. Start with your right, tap it down. Nice and slow here. Slow and control, slow and control. Ten more seconds here. And rest. All right, and then we're flipping over on our stomach. And we're gonna be in a plank position on our elbows. And remember, we're on here. Now all we're doing is we're pulling our scap together, and then we're pressing and rounding it out. Pulling our scap together and pressing and rounding it out. Again, not fast, just under control. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. And press. Pull those scap together and press. Pull the scap together, press. Ten seconds. And go ahead and flip over to the back. Right? Feet are next to your butt, elbows are down to your side, and you're pressing, getting your shoulders off the ground, and then relaxing. Pressing, relaxing. Pressing, relax. Press, relax. Press, relax. Let's do a couple more. Press, relax. Press, relax, and rest. All right, were those hard for you? If they were hard for you, you need to practice some more. Even just getting on the ground and pressing and pulling that scap together, even if you can't get your shoulders off the ground, is still learning how to do the movement. All right, so let's say you're here and you just do this. Right? Eventually, you'll be able to get those shoulders off the ground. All right? Back to our dead bugs. Hands out in front, shoulders are back, feet are up, and go. "15 seconds here. Heel taps and go. Nice and slow. Keep those toes flexed back. Keep reaching up towards the sky or ceiling. Don't let that knee bend. Keep the same angle of the knee. Use your hip flexor to lower down to the ground. And rest. Going back to our Scap push-ups. Ten seconds here. Go ahead and get into your plank position on your elbows. Step back, and remember, we're pulling the scap together as we lower, and then extending and rolling those shoulders and pressing out at the top. Yeah, you'll feel this in your core. Go ahead and flip over to the back. Take those elbows out to the side, either down to your side or just out a little bit. We don't want to way out here like this, right? Press in, slowly lower. Drive those elbows into the floor. And rest. Remember, it doesn't matter if you can get your shoulders off the ground or not. Just as long as you feel, when you drive the elbows into the floor, you feel the tightening in between your shoulder blades. Okay, that means there's some activation there, just not strong enough to get all the way up yet. All right? Going back into our dead bugs. Hands out in front, shoulders are pulled back. Feet are up, and crunch, and reach. Continue to work on that core from last week. Ten seconds. Three, two, one. Tap the heel. Don't change the angle of that knee. Tap the heel. And rest. Flipping back over to your stomach for those scap push-ups. "15 seconds here. Go ahead and get in your plank position. Get ready. And go. Roll. Press. Let the shoulders roll together and press. Roll together and press. Flip over on the back. And work on the strength of those scaps here. All right, here we go. And rest. And shake that out. All right, those are our 3 sets there. Shoulders are nice and warm. Core's nice and warm. On the Kang squats, I want you to hold your weight here in this front position. You'll be in your squat stance. We're gonna go into a good morning first, then drop our butt and raise our chest up like we did in those gorilla squats, then back to a good morning, and then stand. Okay, so one more time. Good morning. Transition the butt down, chest up, then back to our good morning, and then up. All right, those are Kang squats. And we're gonna do 8 of those. Take your time with them. They're not meant to be done fast. Slow and controlled. So from here, I go into my good morning. I slowly go into my squat. I slowly raise my leg back up while my chest is down into good morning, and then stand. My recommendation is do your first round or so with no weight. Get used to the movement, then add weight and see if you can still do it, okay? Once we get done with those 8 Kang squats, we're gonna go down to the ground for 8 push-ups. All right, so we're gonna be here, have those hands back behind the chest so that we have a vertical forearm. We're pressing here, okay? And our elbows are back and down, just like they were when we were doing our reverse push-up, all right? When you get done with those 2, you have 16 big V sit-ups. If not, that's what we're going with. All right, so we're gonna come here, come all the way up 16 times, or we're gonna alternate back and forth 16 times. And we're gonna do that little circuit for 4 minutes. Then we're gonna rest 2 minutes. And then we're gonna go into goblet squats. All right, so we're gonna have our weight here. We're gonna do 8 goblet squats. Oh, and then we're gonna take the weight. 8 push press or shoulder press. Either one's fine. And then we're gonna come down to the ground. And we have 16 pull throughs. Okay? And we're gonna do that for 4 minutes. And then rest 2 minutes. And then we're gonna go through the entire thing again. Okay? So we're working hard for 4 minutes, resting 2 minutes. Working hard for 4 minutes, resting 2 minutes. Going through it twice, all right? All right, so let me grab a sip of water here. We'll restart this clock. And we're going in 10 seconds. We're starting off with our Kang squats. Kang squats. All right, so right here. There you go. Good morning. Into our squat. Back up. That's one. Good morning. Back into our squat. And up. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. We go into our push-ups. Then we go into our 16 V sit-ups. Once you're done there, back to your Kang squats. Still got 2 minutes. After those 8 Kang squats, back to our push-ups. And then back to our V sit-ups. Whew. And rest. 2-minute rest. Go and grab yourself a sip of water. All right, we're going in a minute. We'll be going into our Kang squats, or Goblet squats. Push press or shoulder press, depending on your weight. I'm gonna end up doing strict shoulder press. So 8 goblet squats, 8 strict shoulder press, or 8 push press. And down on the ground, 16 pull throughs. Right, this set will be quite a bit faster than your other set. So if you got two rounds on the first set, you'll probably get closer to 3 rounds on this next set. Okay, we got 30 seconds here. Whew. All right, 10 seconds. All right, 10 seconds. Go ahead and grab that weight and get ready in that squat position. We're going into our goblet squats first for 8 reps and go. All the way down, way up. And then 8 shoulder press or push press. And then 16 pull throughs. So in that plank position, pull it all the way through. And back to your squats. And then back to your pull throughs. Back to your squats. Back to shoulder press. Back to your pull throughs. Five seconds. Press. Ten seconds. 2-minute rest. Whew. Oh man. So we got a little over a minute here. I'm going back to our slower circuit, our Kang squats, push-ups, and V sit-ups. For me, I'm trying to get 2 rounds again, 2 rounds. Try to get back to what you did the first time. Maybe best it by a rep or 2. We have about 45 seconds here. All right. Go ahead and keep that weight in that front position. All right, we're going in 5 seconds here. Kang squats are first, 8 times, then push-ups, and go. Good morning, squat. Good morning, and then stand. Into your push-ups. Ooh. Into your V sit-ups, 16 of them. Oh, God. Oh my gosh. And back to your Kang squats. We have about 2 minutes left. Good morning, squat. Back to our good morning, stand. back to our push-ups, 45 seconds. And rest. 2-minute rest. Whew. One more 4-minute set to go. Whew. One more minute. So I'm not saying this is going to be the biggest calorie burn workout you'll do, but let's not get hung up on how many calories we burn and start chasing calories burn if we're not taking enough calories in. So this is just good movement work on the first set with the Kang squats and the push-ups, and then on the second set, the very basic things that we already know how to do that we can move safely and quickly through and then jack that heart rate up. All right, so the first one is more for motor control, breathing through your reps. The second one is for moving faster. All right, this is our last 4 minutes coming up. Starting off with our goblet squats, then push or strict shoulder press and push press, and then pull throughs. And here we go. 8 squats. And 8 presses. And then 16 pull throughs. And then back to our goblet squats. Shoulder press. Back to our pull throughs. 2 minutes. One minute. Here we go. 20 seconds. And rest. Take a minute. We're gonna start making our way down to the floor. Stretch our hamstrings, hips, low back. Go ahead and take that right leg, pull it in towards your chest. Left hand across the outside of the right leg, pull it across the left side of your body. The right shoulder, right hand on the other side. Stay on the ground. Turn your head and look out over the right shoulder and right hand. Breathe here, breathe into this stretch. Bring that knee back into the chest, grab both knees, rock back and forth a couple times, massage the spine. Extend the right leg out, hold that left knee in. Take the right hand on the outside of that left leg, pull it across the body. Look out over your left shoulder, left hand. We made it through today. It was definitely questionable. Pull those knees back into your chest. Roll your spine a couple times. Take that left ankle over the right knee. Reach through, grab behind the right knee. And pull that knee back. And place your left elbow, if you can, somewhere on that left leg and open up that hip a little bit. Flex both toes, or both feet here, back towards, like dorsiflexion, which means pulling the toes back towards you. Couple more deep breaths. Set that foot down, switch it to the other side. Right ankle over that left knee. Reach through, grab that right behind the left knee. Take the right arm or elbow against that right leg and press out. About 3 to 5 deep breaths here. And set that foot down. All right, and then we're gonna flip over onto our stomach. And we're gonna go into a frog stretch here. All right, so I'm gonna flip my mat up here or over, trying to get my knees out as wide as possible, right? And I want my ankles to line up with my knees or be just outside of my knees. And we're gonna lean forward and come down into this position here. And then gradually walk your elbows back towards your body until you feel a stretching sensation in your groin, in your hips. Don't go beyond what you can handle, just breathe into it. On the exhale, try to sink back if you can. If not, just try to relax. We got about 30 more seconds here. Fifteen seconds. This stretch I like to hold for about 90 seconds, 2 minutes, somewhere around there. And slowly start edging your way forward, letting your hips drop to the ground, nice and slow, bringing those feet back together. And just rolling it back together. Right, making your way up to your knees, into a kneeling position. All right, shake those arms out. We're gonna sit up nice and tall here. One last stretch, right arm across the front. Pull the shoulders down and away from your ears. Extend this arm up. And we're gonna reach to the side, see if we can touch the ground. A couple deep breaths into that side body stretch. And back up. We're gonna take the other arm across the front, pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take that arm up, come across. 3 to 5 deep breaths right into this side body here. Up and then shake those arms out one last time. All right, awesome job, guys. I look forward to seeing some comments on how everything was. How did the Scap push-ups go for you? Were you able to do those fairly easy? Was it somewhat challenging? The Scap push-up or reverse push-up, how was that for you? Were you able to pull your shoulder blades together? Could you get your shoulders off the ground? Or could you just feel it and you can't quite get your shoulders to come off the ground yet, right? Those are the things we want to know there. How did the Kang squats feel? Did you add weight to the Kang squats, or did you just use, did you just do body weight work through that first set because you weren't comfortable with the movement, right? So those are the types of things that you should be noting down, messaging to me what you struggle with, what you did okay with, what you like, where you need help more. That way, as we get closer to opening up and being back inside, we don't have to stop everything and redo all the stuff that we're working on now and hold everyone else up, okay? So message me, let me know how it went, let me know how those new movements went for you, and then have an awesome Monday.